Good morning everybody. This is a video that is kind of out of the ordinary for me, but unfortunately it is still continuing, so I do feel the need that I need to talk about it and show it to you guys, and also it is also here for the people that I'm actually about to talk about today, because I really hope that they look back on it and they reflect on it and they realise that they are only doing more harm to their own reputation. They are not affecting me whatsoever, and I actually hold no ill against them. So this video is not for harassment. Please do not go and harass these people. If these people see this video themselves, they do stalk my videos and there is a chance that they're going to see it, I just want them to know that this is not harassment at them. I hold no anger towards them. I hold no hatred or jealousy towards them. But I do feel that because they are still pushing and doing this when they are adults, they clearly want me to post something about it. And so I am posting something about it here today. If they do get this video removed by any chance, I will put a PSA document up about it, which will be found in my server. If they remove that, I will just continue to post it because they do keep continuing to post stuff on me. Furthermore, another warning before I start this video, in case they decide to cause backlash or start complaining about the fact that they are being exposed to what they are doing completely unprovoked. They might put up PSAs to you guys or whatever, but do be aware that they have been known to put up PSAs which is unfortunately full of false information, fake screenshots, and even screenshots from a old Discord account of mine, which they believe they had evidence on me of apparently stealing characters, but unfortunately it was a hacker called Birdie that got into my account. I have had issues with Birdie for some time now, but that is for another day, as Birdie is not personally involved with what is going on today. So this drama does span for about 5 years, but I'm not going to talk about everything that happened because obviously I will literally be making a series. I'm just going to talk about what happened in 2023, and yeah, hopefully these people see this video themselves and realise that what they're doing shouldn't be done, and maybe they'll stop doing it. But if they continue to do it, then I do need to make them aware that I do actually have a number that the police told me to call, and I do have my local solicitors as well, which I can go down to get them tracked and probably, you know, see if anything further can be done about them, because obviously if I go to a solicitor about it, it can go through court and that can be out of the police's hands. So as much as they've turned around and said that the police won't do anything, the courts might. So that is a completely different matter. So I do need to make them aware of that, and I do hope that they do see this, and like I've said, I hope that they realise that it's not affecting me. It's actually just putting a lot more evidence on themselves, because this is completely unprovoked, by the way, guys. I will discuss how it all happened and where it all started through the pictures that I have. There are a couple of pictures that I won't show today, simply because they might start really screaming over copyright to do with like pictures of their characters and stuff like that. But there are a couple that I am going to show. There's a couple that I might edit the snippets of, you know, just in case I feel that there's a possibility that they might start squealing over it because it's showing something in it, like a character that they don't want to see. But you are more than welcome to either message me for the evidence, or the characters that I'm going to talk about today, you can actually go and look on their social media accounts, because they do actually have things, I think, like probably videos and art and all that stuff that is posted of these actual characters that I'm going to talk about today. So you can actually physically go to their accounts and actually search it up yourself for the screenshots. So we're going to get into where it began. I don't exactly know the time or the dates of these. I've not time stamped them, most of them, but I do have some screenshots which are time stamped. And this first screenshot that was sent to me, I actually wasn't aware of obviously what was going on. This is how I was made aware that it started, and then it's just kind of continued from here. So the first one was on the 25th of February. This is where it began. It did begin obviously 3 days prior to that, because it states here that this was posted 3 days ago on the screenshot. So I'm about to talk about two people that you might know. Their usernames are lolzcupcake and xdirewolfy. They are on YouTube, they are on Discord, they are on Philandia, they are on DeviantArt, blah blah blah, wherever else you can find them. But please don't go hunting them down, like I said, because this isn't for harassment. This is just to make people aware. And it's obvious, like I said, with it continuing, they obviously want me to say something, though. So here I am saying something. So when this screenshot was taken, it stated that this post was put 3 days ago. Now, you might be able to find this post, but if you can't find this post, if she deletes it, because please be aware that they have been known to delete evidence before, then like I've stated, I do have this screenshot of it and I can provide the full screenshot. I'm not going to provide the full screenshot here today because it does have a screenshot of one of lolzcupcake's characters. However, there are still some screenshots that I am going to chance showing later on in this video because it shows what they were doing in game to me personally. So this is actually where it began. There was a post, a community post on lolzcupcake's YouTube, according to this screenshot that I was given on the 25th of the 2nd of 2023 at 19:57 in UK time. And this screenshot's a post from lolzcupcake saying, Tarnkino's look in Philandia. He came out so adorable, with a screenshot of her character called Tarnkino. You may have seen him. You might be able to find videos of him on her YouTube to go and have a look at it yourself. Then you have to click it to click more, apparently, because that's what the person did here, because it does say obviously show less on it. And it goes space, 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 like loads of empty spaces to put it down to hide it. And it says, seen Sharky Philandian make a post using his name. Oh, that's because they steal OCs. Check out these two full PSAs on them here, and then it leads to the PSA that they had, which, if I recall correctly, has been removed now because it does go against community guidelines from Google Documents, and a lot of people have been kind enough to inform me that they have reported it. And unfortunately, that document is full of a lot of forged and false information. They do like to keep the false information in there purposely, just out of spite, because they want more hate on me for some weird reason. So that then has a picture of her Tarnkino. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the fact that she's only attacking me and starting drama here over the name, not over the actual character. She's not actually starting it over any character being stolen. She's actually just starting it over the name, because I have a character called named Tarnkino, and the name actually wasn't from her. Believe me, I got the name from somewhere else. And the reason I have the name Tarnkino on one of my characters that many of you know today, you can look him up, I can show a screenshot of him, is actually just because I like the name. To me, a name is a name, but unfortunately to them, they like to use names out of spite. Now that is why I have a character called named Tarnkino. I do apologise for the fact that I'm muddling my words up. That is just what I do on a daily basis. So, you know, bear with me in this video, guys. When it comes to them saying that I steal characters, I can and I will provide evidence to you guys. Tarnkino is an example here of my transactions on places like DeviantArt, on me sending points to people. And I sent those points to people because I was using those points to purchase adoptables off of them. One of the characters that I purchased off somebody was Tarnkino. My Tarnkino, by the way, don't get it mixed up with lolzcupcake's Tarnkino. And I also purchased Tarnkino and Sharky's father, Vanity, from the same person. And then I also purchased Avril, which was also a family member of Sharky and Tarnkino, which I purchased from the same person who I got Tarnkino and Vanity from. So those are just a couple of examples. I can show the transactions to you guys as the evidence that I don't steal characters. I will either make a character personally myself, or I will go out of my way and buy the character. And one of the reasons that I buy characters now more than make characters is for this reason, sadly, because I do get accused of stealing characters all the time, and anytime I make a new character, lolzcupcake or direwolfy will either attack me over its name, attack me over its colours, or attack me over its markings, and try to say that in some way it's a copy of somebody's character for some weird reason, and I don't know why. But it's just unfortunately one of those strange little hobbies that they have. And I'd love to actually know from them themselves why they do it, because they know for a fact that I don't steal characters. I have my own original ideas, and that's why I buy characters now. Because if I buy a character and they say, oh, that character is a copy, I can just turn around to them and say, look, take it up with the actual person that made it, because I didn't make it, so it's not a copy. And that is the case with this today with Tarnkino. So I do heavily advise you guys to please go and look at lolzcupcake's social media accounts and look at her Tarnkino. I want you guys to go and do that now before you look at the rest of this video. And then what I want you to do is have a look at the screenshots that I'm about to provide to you today of my Tarnkino. I want you to have a look at his design in game, his first design, where he was orange with black on him, like he had black freckles and all that, like when I started him. And then I want you to look at his design in game of what he currently looks like, what you all know him by now, which I can compare to you with the ref sheet of him that the person who I bought him from made. Now credits to them obviously for that if I do show it on screen today, because they did make it. I can't link you back to the original because apparently from the looks of it I have tried to have a look, and unless I'm blind, it does actually look like that they have actually deleted the adopt sheet that Tarnkino was from, so I can't provide it to you. But I can provide the cropped out version, because obviously they didn't give me a separate file when I adopted him. They did say that when you purchase it you've got to save the image and you've got to crop the adopt out yourself, because they couldn't do it. So I did crop Tarnkino out when I got him on it, so I can provide that to you. So you can look at her Tarnkino and then you can look at mine, and you can 100% see that there is nothing identical between them. I haven't stolen at all. I have purchased this character. I think he was 350 DeviantArt points. I'll have to look through my transactions, see if I can find it and provide it of how many points he was. And yeah, he looks nothing like her Tarnkino. The only thing that is the same is the name. But I am going to state to you guys here, as an adult, I want to ask people, even lolzcupcake herself, is why are people fighting over a name? You know, it's a free to use thing. Anybody can use it. It's like, let's just say Snow, for example. Let's use Snow as a name. Let's say I use the name Snow on a white character. You can guarantee there's millions of white characters out there that people have named Snow. And you don't see me going out there attacking them all saying, oh no, Snow is my name, it belongs to me, you can't use it. Yet unfortunately that is a huge problem that I keep getting with lolzcupcake and direwolfy. When I use a name, if they are using the name on their character, they attack me for it. But then they'll go out of their way and they'll use a name that I'm using deliberately out of spite, just because they want a reaction. You know, they won't use it because they think, oh, I like it. They think, okay, Sharky's got that name, I'm going to use it, I'm going to start mass posting it, I'm going to see if I can wind her up. You know, there's a difference between why we're using the names. So I do expect everyone to be adults here, both me and lolzcupcake and xdirewolfy, and just take it on the chin of the fact that it's free. You know, we can't stop each other from using it. We don't have copyright paperwork, and well, I'm not being immature about it, but they need to stop being immature about it. You know, I accept that it's a name, I accept that they can use it as well as me, and they need to stop trying to block me from using what's free. We're going to get into names again a little bit in a moment, just do bear with me. So that is where it all started, and I let it slide because the only thing that she's basically attacking me over is the name Tarnkino, nothing more. And then she's trying to bring up these silly documents to try and get more junk on me, to get people to, you know, side with her and say, yeah, you're a victim, we're going to help you beat Sharky up and attack Sharky, and you know, you're the best and Sharky's a monster. You know, that's how it is. I took it on the chin as an adult, guys. I'm nearly 28 years old now, and I do know better not to actually you know, pay any attention to this kind of stuff. Hello, Coco. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but you can probably hear my dog's paws pitter-pattering, because she is stood right next to me right now. I think she actually needs to go out into the garden as well. So I'm going to show you guys another screenshot in a moment. So here is the next screenshot for you guys. This one is also by lolzcupcake. This is a screenshot that somebody else took So I do thank them, credits to them, obviously, same with the previous screenshot that I've just shown to you. And this one again is from lolzcupcake. It is in her PSA document that obviously was removed because people have mass reported it. She might repost it when she sees this and wants to start a fight or whatever, but you know, we're not here for that today, like I've said. So this screenshot, as you can see, it's of my video called Finlandia Tankino, what's your favourite food? You guys, I do ask you guys to please pause this video, open this video up in another tab on your browser or whatever it is that you're using, and please watch this video, not for the view but for the situation of this video, so you can see where I'm getting at. So please pause this video and go and watch this Tankino what's your favourite food video. If you don't want to pause it, then I'll talk you through it. So this video is an audio, a harmless audio. It's not aimed at anybody. It's from the TV series called Bluey. Some of you might have heard of it, some of you might have watched it. I really like watching Bluey. It's really nice. You know, it covers quite a few topics that hit in life for real. You know, a lot of us can look at it and we think Bluey's kind of like me. You know, like it talks about a lot of topics that you suffer from in real life, or that you can relate to, and it gets a lot of people into it for that, you know, and I really do praise it for that. It is really good, and it's, you know, it's just about the Blue Healer and her family growing up and all that stuff, and it's really nice. I do enjoy watching it even as an adult, and I'm sure there's a lot of other adults out there that like to watch it. So there was one scene that really made me giggle, and basically in this episode, I forgot her name now. Yeah, Bluey. Bluey's mother is trying to get her to sleep with like a bedtime story. She's reading her a book, and her dad Bandit comes in as a puppet. Now he comes in as this puppet called Unicorn. It's obviously like a unicorn puppet on his hand, and during the story, Bluey turns around to Unicorn and says, "Unicorn, what's your favourite food?" Now Unicorn just pauses and like goes straight up to her face and looks her in the eyes like really creepily, and just replies with saying, "Children." And she's like, "Oh," you know, it gets a little chaotic from there. So I liked that audio. I went looking for that audio on YouTube and I found it, and I thought that it suited my two characters, Sharky and Tankino. Now this is the first time that I show Tankino's old design off in a video, by the way, so this is obviously where lolzcupcake had seen it and then started the previous post that I've just shown you guys. So I did that audio. It's not aimed at anybody, and the audio says where Sharky's saying to Tankino, "What's your favourite food?" You know, she's a child, she's oblivious, and she's one of those characters that will sadly go with a stranger. That is the only way that I can say it. She literally will take candy from a stranger, and if a stranger with candy was like, you know, "Come into the back of my van, Sharky, I've got some candy for you," she would leap in the back of that van without thinking, guys. You know, she's kind of stupid. Sharky is not the brightest tool in the shed. So originally from Tankino's story, I do also apologise if you hear it in the background, because the back door is open for my dog and my cats, and I do hear cars going up and down. I don't know how sensitive the microphone is while I'm recording this. So to the lore of Tankino when I first made him was he actually wasn't related to Sharky. He wasn't actually her brother to begin with. He was actually supposed to be her guardian, and he was trying to teach her, you know, that he was trying to role play as a creepy person that was going to take a kid away, you know, and he was trying to role play to her saying, "If I approach you, you know, what are you going to do?" And Sharky made it clear that she was going to approach him and ask him what his favourite food was. You know, she wasn't going to think stranger danger. She wasn't going to think he could pick me up and take me away. She was going to have a conversation with this stranger. And so he replied with saying, "Children, when she asked, what's your favourite food, Tonkino? As if to try and say to her, you know, I would take you away. You need to be aware of me. You need to be aware of stranger danger, Sharky. But Sharky was none the wiser. You know, she was just like, oh, it's just a game. It's just a role play. You know, I don't know any better. So then I posted that video, and obviously that's when the slew of attacks came in from lolzcupcake from the first screenshot that I have shown to you guys. Now at the bottom of this screenshot, as you may have noticed while I'm talking about this, it says in underlined red, mocking my OC here, and it has a link to her character called Tonkino. Now again, like I've said, I don't know how it's mocking her characters. You guys are probably scratching your head as much as me, but if you see it from the way where she thinks it's being mocked, then please do tell me in the characters. Yeah, tell me in the characters. Tell me in the comments below, because I'm going to be real with you here. Probably with my disability, I lack understanding, and I don't actually understand what she means by that this is mocking her, because it's just a harmless video. And I hope that she's watching this herself to realise that it's just a harmless video. It's not aimed at her. It's not mocking her character. But for some strange reason, she's put this thing up saying that it's mocking her character. I don't know if she knows it's not mocking and she's doing it for a fight, or if she genuinely believes it's mocking her character. But if she genuinely believes it's mocking her character, then I would love to hear her opinion of why, because I don't understand. Genuinely, I'm going to say that as an adult here, I do struggle with a lot of cues and social issues, and I actually don't understand for real, even though I'm like an adult should understand these things, you know. The other thing that I want to mention with this screenshot before we continue to the next screenshots is lolzcupcake has a habit of always saying that she's not stalking me, she's not looking at my stuff, she's not watching me, you know, saying that she's leaving me alone. But this actually proves that she is actually watching my stuff and she's not leaving me alone, because this screenshot itself of the actual video, she actually took that screenshot and put it in her document. So she had to go to my channel to watch the video, to take the screenshot and then put it in a document, which does prove that she is actually watching me. I do want to thank her for that, because her views do matter to my channel, you know. So thank you very much for supporting my channel. And yeah, so after that, the random dislikes started. Now I know that that's probably lolzcupcake, because it all started shortly after this video. I'm pretty sure this video, the Tonkino what's your favourite food one, was the main one that got a dislike on it. And then after that, she picks and chooses what videos to dislike. Not every single one of my videos got a dislike, but every now and again I will post a video, it will get like 5 likes on it, maybe more, maybe like 7, maybe 10, and then it gets this 1 dislike on it on a randomized video of mine. Usually it's often a video that has characters in it like Keiki or Tonkino or stuff like that, that she doesn't seem to like, that she obviously for some weird reason takes offense of. But then that also shows to me that she's had to go and watch the video all the way through to actually decide whether she wants to dislike it or not, because she's picking and choosing. She's not just going on every video and slamming that dislike. She's doing it on specific videos. So it's obvious to me that she watches the videos, then decides, do I want to dislike this video, or do I just want to leave it without a dislike, you know? And again, I thank her for that, because disliking my videos does actually help my channel out. It does obviously give me that feedback, and it does actually just sit there, you know, because it makes me aware that you are there watching my videos. And I do actually get more likes than dislikes on these videos, so I can show one on screen as an example of the one random dislike out of all the likes that I have gotten. Now we're going to move on to the next screenshots. This is where the evidence of them purposely doing stuff for a reaction started, when they began trying to get a reaction out of me. And you guys can probably see this, where I'm coming from with this. So during this time of these next screenshots that I'm going to show to you guys, I met Minty Flight and Lethry on Finlandia. Absolutely lovely people. Please go and subscribe to them if you're not subscribed already. I've been in voice chats with them and everything. It's insane how alike me and Lethry are. You know, we like a lot of stuff, we say a lot of the same stuff. It's kind of crazy. We had a great voice chat one day, and stuff like that. And same with me and Minty. You know, we had a nice voice chat, and I really hope that at some other point, you know, we probably have some more voice chats and play Philandia together and whatever else. You've probably seen us around Philandia together. You often do. It's not uncommon to see us with each other. Now, I met the two, and Minty invited me to join her Discord server. Now, at first I was a bit skeptical. I sat there and I was like, I've got something in my gut feeling telling me that lolzcupcake and xdirewolfy are a member. And I said it to her. I said, look, I'm not here for drama. I don't want to fight with them. I'm an adult. I don't want this drama. You know, if they're in your server, I might even leave the server if they're in the server. She was like, fair enough, I understand. You know, you guys who are listening might be able to understand it from my point of view as well, that I'm not here for the drama, and if I have to remove myself to stay out of the way of it as an adult, then you know I would. But so far I've taken it on the chin as an adult and just took the screenshots that I'm providing today and just getting on with life with it, really. So I joined Minty's server, and straight away on the online section was lolzcupcake and xdirewolfy, and swiftly, as quickly as I could, I ran in and I slammed the block button as hard as I possibly could, guys. You know, I was like, I'm not having these people contact me. You know, I don't want them to have anything to do with me, because it's obvious that we can't talk as adults anyway. So I don't want to talk to them. I don't feel like I can talk to them about anything that's going on. So I didn't do it out of spite or anything, or out of fear or any of that kind of stuff. I just blocked them to be an adult. And then I woke up one morning and checked the Discord, as you do. I checked every Discord server that I'm in. I'm in so many Discord servers that I am active in, and Minty's server was one of them. And then I realised that their usernames had changed. So as you can see on screen, Direwolfy's changed from Direwolfy to Woofy the Wolf. And then lolzcupcake's changed to Lols the Cakey. Now I'm also going to show it on screen, a small snippet. I don't know obviously how well you'll be able to see, because it is quite small and I can't make it any bigger, unfortunately, without it being blurry. The screenshots, the smaller version screenshots of obviously their usernames, Lols the Cakey and Woofy the Wolf, beside two ref sheets that I have of two characters that are named none other than Cakey and Woofy. I can also show a little bit of art of some headshots that I very recently did of Cakey and Woofy. Now I made Cakey and Woofy, I believe, in I think 2022, maybe 2021. It was about 1 or 2 years ago that I made these characters now, so I've had them for a little while now. And that is the names that they chose to rename themselves to deliberately as soon as I joined the Discord server. Now again, I am going to state they are within their rights to use the names, which is why I didn't get angry over it or anything, because again, it's a name. A name is a name. Anyone's in the rights to use it, including them. But what I do really want to point out here is that from seeing these screenshots, I'm sure all of you people can relate to me in understanding that this was not done out of them simply liking the names, but it was done in a specific order after I joined the Discord server, of them wanting to somehow get my attention because they couldn't do it because they were blocked. So they chose two of my character names, thinking that they would get a negative reaction, or thinking that I would snap in some way for their own entertainment, or for them to turn around to people and say that I'm a bad person, that they're a victim. You guys can probably see where I'm coming from. And I'm hoping that if they watch this video too, that they can also see where they're coming from and, you know, maybe stop. I mean, again, I'm not going to stop them using the names. They can use the names, but, you know, maybe stop trying to do it out of spite, because I'm not doing it with my names out of spite. So, anyway, moving on. I can now also show you a couple of screenshots of my Cakey and my Woofy on Philandia, because they are on Philandia as well. I did make them on Philandia. Now, obviously you can look up a couple of my YouTube videos as well. There are a couple of YouTube videos. I might actually do recording snippets of my own videos actually of where Wolfy and Cakey do actually show up in the videos. You are welcome to actually go and search those videos up on my channel to actually see them, to know that those characters are actually there as well. And then I would advise you to pause the video. You might not find a Wolfy on xdirewolfy's channel, but I do actually have a screenshot of one. But you should be able to find one of a character called Cakey, because I do believe I do have screenshots that I'm not going to show today because she might start screaming about obviously me showing the character off, copyrights, all that stuff. But I do have screenshots that somebody sent to me of a short video that she did of a character called Cakey. And then I am aware that somebody informed me in the Discord that we are in together who sees her Discord messages. Obviously I've got it where it says that it's a blocked message, and I don't actually click on it to look at it, but somebody else who is in the Discord, with both us in Minty's Discord, did say that she put a ref sheet of a Cakey character up as well. Whether or not that still exists, I don't know, and I'm not going to go look at it, because like I said, I don't like to unhide her blocked messages, because it's none of my business, and I don't like to interact with it. I have her blocked for a reason, and that reason is so I don't see that any of her messages, and I want it to stay that way instead of me going and looking at them. It also started on Discord as well, where they started using their about me information to post PSAs on me as well. Now obviously those PSAs did get a lot of attention, but I don't think they are aware that the kind of attention that those PSAs got was not positive for them. It did actually get a lot of negative attention for them, where people were seeing it and they were realizing from knowing me that I am a nice person, that a lot of the evidence in it on me is false or fake or fabricated, and they got very, very annoyed, and they did start mass reporting the PSAs that they put up about me. And I do believe that that did result in the PSAs actually being removed off Google Documents. Google Documents themselves actually took them down, saying that it violates their terms of service, and then obviously they removed it out of their about me information, apparently to other people who was keeping an eye on that stuff. Shortly after that, the status posts on Discord started. Again, it's another thing that they know that I can see. Other people can see it as well, so other people took screenshots of it as well. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this one that I'm going to show on screen, because obviously it is quite a small snippet. It doesn't exist on a status anymore, so I don't know how well the video is going to show it, but we'll have a look anyway, and I'll read it out to you guys if it's not showing very well. So this first one is by lolzcupcake. This wasn't the first one, obviously there was a slew of other ones, but this one happened when a friend of mine told her nicely in a message to please remove the information that she has in her document that they did not allow her to use that belonged to her. And she then posted, imagine being friends with someone, aka being friends with me, who sends death threats on others almost on a daily basis, or whatever it says there. Threats to others almost daily, it says, I think there, but it says other, so I think she did an error with her typing there. That was referring to me, and again, I don't send death threats to people. Anybody who knows me, you know that I am a caring person. Everybody else's mental health matters to me. You know, I don't agree with bullying. I've been bullied myself, including obviously by these people that you've seen in this video today, and stuff like that, and I really don't approve of it. So that was one that she'd put with a rolling eyes face. Obviously she was annoyed that I'd have friends, you know, because they do keep saying that I have no friends and no life. There was also one time on DeviantArt where they said I had no friends, so I went to my art group where I have loads of friends. They are all disabled, because it's a group where only people who are disabled can actually apply to be members. It's an art group, and literally everybody there loves me. Like, I am the clown of the whole group. I get on with everybody there. I have a best friend there who's older than me, and she's basically took me on as my mother, because, you know, unfortunately my mum has actually passed away. And when she found out about that, she was like, it's okay, you know, I'm here for you. She's like a mother figure to me. And you know, she really does take it on board of me being like her child, and I love her so much. And she calls me every now and again to check up and make sure I'm okay. And obviously I did unfortunately quit the art group because of my mother, you know, going through chemotherapy for cancer, being really, really poorly. And in the end, you know, I didn't go back because I'm still mourning 4 years later the fact that my mum has passed away. And it is really hard, so I'm not going to talk further about it, guys, but you see where I'm getting from. I did post a video to one of my YouTube channels once of me going to that art group and hanging out with my friends and showing them, you know, I have a life, I have real friends, even though you're trying to say that I'm a low life with no friends and whatever else. And then they started attacking, putting stuff up saying, oh, you can't use handicapped people, you're being so sad about using handicapped people to pretend that you have friends. And it's like, okay, whatever, you know, if you want to pretend and think that I don't have friends, then you pretend that I don't have friends. But I do have loads of friends, and it's obvious from this screenshot that lolzcupcake is fed up that her PSA isn't turning the whole universe against me, and that I do actually have friends. So yeah, I thank the people, especially the people who obviously are going to listen to this today, who are my friends and who have stayed by me, because you are dear to me. You do matter to me. Your mental health matters to me. You can always talk to me about anything, you know, and I do care about people despite what these other people are saying about me in these silly PSAs and whatever else. I'm not a bad person, and I have learned from my mum to put other people before myself. So that was the one of the things that turned up on her status post. Another one, I'm not sure if this is aimed at me, but I will like to note that they do like to aim music lyrics at me. They've done it in the past. They've made playlists with music lyrics aimed at me, some very nasty ones and stuff like that. This one was by Wolfy. She changed her username by this time to Woofy, the Sky Chest Hoarder, and you can read all of it, but I'm not going to put all of it. Obviously, I'm just going to read the little bit that looks like it's aimed at me, where it says, obviously, song lyrics, I'm assuming, all the indicators tell us you're jealous. I don't understand the rest of it. Let me just try and read it, but you guys can read it from the screenshot. It's safe to say, I'll have something's great renown in something else brings you down. Now, if that is aimed at me, then nothing actually brings me down. I have a happy day every day, luckily, you know, they don't bring me down. I hope that they understand that despite the fact that they think that I'm crying, that they think that it's getting to me, it's actually not. For some strange reason, I'm going to be honest here, it actually seems like it's getting to them more than it's getting to me, because they're feeling the need to keep posting this kind of stuff. So they're obviously in some weird way frustrated that it's not actually getting to me, so they're trying to find a post to get to me, and in doing so, because they're not getting to me in the posts, they're frustrating themselves to do more posts. And it's kind of a little strange, you know. That's the only way that I can put it to you guys. It's really yeah, I don't understand it, but yeah, I don't know if that one was aimed at me or not, but I'm just going to put it here as a just in case. If it wasn't aimed at me, then I am going to say to Wolfie herself, if she sees this, that I apologise, but I'm not the wisest of knowing what ones are and are not aimed at me. So moving on to the next one here. This one I did see myself. I'm going to be open, honest here. I did report this one. This one's a trigger warning for you guys of something sexual as well. I don't know if it's fetish related or what, but it's a little bit strange. Now, this one's from xdirewolfy again. I don't know who this is aimed at. I don't care who this one is aimed at, but as an adult, I'm going to say I don't believe that this one should have been posted, simply because of minors. Now, I woke up and saw this one, and I reported it to Minty Flight because I didn't know if she would allow that kind of status being seen where anybody in her server could scroll past the member section and see it on direwolfy's status, and you know, they might have been grossed out, they might have found it a little weird and been uncomfortable with it, and they could even go to direwolfy themselves and be like, what you're putting is disgusting, you know, you're disgusting, it's gross, you shouldn't put that. And I didn't even want people to do that, you know. She doesn't deserve either to be attacked over a silly post that she's silly enough to put. So I did talk to Minty Flat about this. I said, look, question, because you don't accept not so friendly work stuff in your Discord, does that count for status posts or not? Because there's a status post up by direwolfy that your minor members who might be grossed out and uncomfortable will be able to see, wow, she's got it up there. And just for the sake of the minors, you know, not out of spite of the fact that it's posted by her and who she actually is, it's not a target to Wolfie herself. And I hope if she watches this video she is aware that I did not report this to Minty as a target to her, but thinking more about the minors, you know, I didn't know if this was acceptable to be seen or not, and I didn't want anybody to see it who's going to be disgusted by it, or like I said, even go at Wolfie for it. So trigger warning, guys. You know, if you don't want to hear this, then just kind of go forward in the video a little bit. I'm not going to show the comment itself, but I can provide it to people who do want to see it in a personal message, because obviously, again, I don't want to trigger people, but I am still going to say what it says. So it says from direwolfy, don't bully me, I'll come. And that is C-U-M in a, you know, spelt in a sexual manner. You know, if you've done your education, guys, it's a normal thing that happens. It's how many of us come along to be born. You know, it's a part of life. You might know about it. You might be an adult. You might know about it. You might be a teenager going through your education at school and know how this stuff works. You know, so you know about it. But you know, a lot of people who are minors, even if they do education on it, you know, they're not at that stage. They don't want to see it. They don't want to read those words. They might think at the moment, when they're not at that stage themselves where they're experiencing that kind of stuff or figuring out what that kind of stuff is, they might be a bit grossed out by it, you know, if you see where I'm coming from. So I did report that to Minty. You know, I was thinking about the minors for that one, so I do want to state that here. Obviously for Wolfie herself, if she ends up seeing this video, that it wasn't a target at her or anything. It's just, you know, she can probably even look at it and sit back and think, you know, maybe I shouldn't have posted that because there are minors in some of my groups that can see it and they might not like it, you know. So I don't know if, again, I don't know if she were posting that because of aimed at me or what, but I mean, I don't find it disgusting myself in a sense because I'm an adult. I've been there, I've done that, you know, I know what all that kind of stuff is. But I mean, it's still a little strange to say, to put something like that up as if you've got some strange fetish for somebody who you believe might be bullying you. Like, it's kind of gross that you're getting off to that kind of thing for many people, you know. You do you at the end of the day if that's a real statement, you know. I'm not going to stop you doing you do you, whatever. We're adults, but, you know, keep it kid friendly kind of sense. That was one of the posts that wound up being posted, and I thought I would talk about it because it says don't bully me in it. And I don't know if she's referring to the pretend stuff that she's got going in her head where she thinks I'm bullying her just for getting offended over me using things like names and colours and markings on my characters, or if she's having problems with somebody else. But yeah. So shortly after that, I found out from Minty that these two had actually messaged her. Apparently, when I first joined Minty's Discord and tagged her in something on the 18th of the 3rd, 2023, apparently to this one, is when lolzcupcake messaged Minty Flight. Now this was a screenshot sent to me by Minty Flight herself, and I am going to read it out. It does say, hey, I hope it's okay to DM you. I saw Sharky Flandian has tagged you in a post and wanted to make sure you saw this info on them. I felt it was only right to let you know about some of the bad behaviour they have done to me and others over the years. Of course, obviously, there is no real bad behaviour. It's just this squabble they've been having for several years. And again, they did try to link her to the false information that they had on me. And obviously Minty did believe it at first, and then I went to Minty myself when she told me about it, and I provided all of the evidence up against the fact that I'm innocent. So, you know, she knows now about it. It does also say, and still doing it to this day. Obviously I'm not, as you can see from all this evidence I'm giving to you right now. All of this stuff is completely unprovoked. All I've done is block them and join the server that they're in and use a name that they're using. Nothing to do with them, you know, literally just use the name out of the blue because I like the name, and then joined the Discord server that they just happen to be in, but blocked them so we don't have any contact, and they've just gone off their hinges at me basically. I didn't want to leave you in the dark on them, just so you can be safe. And obviously, as Minty knows, Minty can probably say this herself, she knows me, she knows I'm not a bad person. And I will continue being nice with Minty because I really get on with Minty. You know, Minty's a lovely person. So is Lethry. And so is many of the rest of you that I've met. So unfortunately, this does hold a lot of false information to it just in itself as a message. And then obviously she did try and link a PSA, which I have cropped out. Not because you can see it, but because from what I'm aware of, the link doesn't actually work anymore because the PSA has actually been taken down, as I've stated earlier, by Google Documents. So you won't actually be able to see it anyway. On top of that, obviously, being that it does hold a lot of false information in it that you do need to be aware of, that they are using on me just out of spite. Then comes the messages from Wolfie, which are basically similar. They say, hey, hi Minty, sorry to bother you. I know this is totally out of the blue, but I noticed that Sharky Philandian / General Sean joined your Discord server earlier, and I wasn't sure if you were aware they're an art at character theft. Obviously, I can provide the evidence to you guys, as I've earlier stated, that I don't steal characters. I will provide, or already have provided in this video, the evidence of the recent transactions on DeviantArt. I think should be decent enough for you guys to see that I do actually buy characters. And then I will also show you. Do you know what? I'm going to show you a couple of characters on screen as well, that are my personal characters. And these personal characters that I'm going to show you on screen, I have personally created myself, and they are not a copy of anybody's characters. They are not stolen. They were completely made by me. And then it also says, and extremely abusive. Obviously, as many of you know, if you know me, I'm a nice bubbly person. I bounce everywhere, I'm hyperactive, I'm chaotic. You know, loads of people can tell you nice things about me who knows me. Even people who know me in real life would sit down with you and just be like, that ain't Sharky. You know, Sharky's not like that. And I'm not, guys, honestly. But if you believe it, then by all means feel free to believe it. I'm not going to make you believe what I'm saying today. If you believe their side and support their side, then, you know, feel free to. But just if you do that, please do not start any trouble with me, because I will report it, screenshot it, and I'll just block you like I've done with these people, because I can't be dealing with it and I'm not interested. And it says, continuing on, wanted to let you know in case you'd want to take action, probably like obviously kicking me out of the Discord. I'm assuming that's what they wanted. They was probably trying to get me kicked out of the Discord or whatever. And I can provide proof / answers any questions if you have them. That was on the 24th, the 3rd, 2023. Now, obviously, Minty does reply with it, with stating that she's stuck in the middle of it because she's got messages, obviously, from both sides. And Wolfie then replies saying, Sharky said more or less the same things about Lols and I'm guessing. And then, obviously, it don't go any further down to the rest of the messages. But I'm going to be open, obviously, like I says, if Wolfie is watching this video, I'm going to be open with what I have said to Minty, because it's nothing to hide. I don't have anything to hide. I went to Minty, and the first conversation that I brought up with her is what these guys did to me. So when I first approached Minty about Lols and Wolfie, I said to them, oh, 2 people that have harassed me are in your server. So be aware that I might leave. In fact, I'm not sure if I can find the screenshots of our first conversation. If I can find them, I will provide them on screen while I'm editing this. If I can't, then you won't see them on screen, whichever one. But I told Minty that obviously Wolfie and Lols are in the server and I don't want any drama. And to stay out of it as an adult, I might leave the server. So she shouldn't be alarmed if I leave the server, and that's the reason why. But I did tell her that obviously I blocked them and I can ignore it. She's like, yeah, I understand, fair enough, all that kind of stuff, you know. And then I started informing her when Lols and Wolfie changed their usernames, deliberately trying to get a reaction out of me to things like Cakey and Woofy. I was like, look, they're changing their usernames deliberately. I don't want to be part of this drama. Is there any way maybe that, you know, because it's happening in your server and other people also don't need to be seeing it, that maybe you can stop us from changing our usernames, where we can't do it deliberately to start on somebody else because this is immature and it's not needed, you know. Something needs to be done about it. Can it be done? Because I'm not interested. And then obviously I think I told her about the status posts, and then I remember turning around to her and saying, look, they're in game with me, they managed to get in game with me, they're doing this, that's clear mockery at me, I'm going to report them. And then that is when Minty says I can provide these screenshots of their chat messages to me if you need it for staff as well, which is obviously the messages that I'm reading out to you guys right now. And so that is when I was made aware of that they were sending Minty messages about me when I had joined her Discord server. Now, if she hadn't have provided that to me, I wouldn't have known, but obviously she did, and I do thank her for it, because like I said, I did actually go to a Philandia staff member and I did actually report it all. Now, going back to the subject of when I said that they managed to get in game with me, this is where the next part happens. So on multiple games, when you block people, it's like sometimes it blocks them from getting in a game with you, or you might be able to block somebody on something like let's take Feral Art for example. If any of you played Feral Art, it's like Philandia. You make a lion or a wolf and you role play with people. You don't dig up chests, or there's nothing in it, there's no prey, no nothing. It's just there for talking and role playing with people. If you block somebody on Feral Art or Feral Art Unleashed, it completely blocks them. You can't see them. Basically, the character just goes poop, disappears into thin air. You can't see them. They're sat there in front of you. You can't see them, and they can't see you. You know, and that's. I was questioning myself. I was like, I've never been in a server on Roblox before with somebody that I've blocked. Does it work like that? Like, if I block somebody, can I still see them, or can I not see them? I don't know. I've never experienced it. I've never really had to block anybody. You know, I don't know how that works. I was like, I don't know, but the chances are Lols and Wolfie probably won't turn up in my server anyway, and if they did, they might be blocked where I can't see them, so I wouldn't know. Well, then I don't know the date because it doesn't have the date from the looks of it on this screenshot. Not without me obviously opening it up and having a look. But then I was sat with Lethry and some other people, as you can see in the screenshot, and I had to blink twice at the fountain at the soul camp. I looked at it and I was like, I squinted my eyes, and I'm wearing glasses for crying out loud, and I looked at the character and I was like, that looks like a character that Direwolfy would make. And I kept looking at it and squinting at it and I couldn't work it out, and I was like, just gonna hover my mouse over this person to see their username. Sure enough, as you can see in the screenshot provided, her username is xdirewolfy, and that right there, people, is Direwolfy herself sitting across from me, staring at me in Philandia. Now that answered my question, I actually kind of got hyped about it. I was like, yes, I know the answer to what I was wondering, scratching my head about. they can actually join me in game and I can see them. You know, now I understand that if you block somebody in Roblox, you can actually see them. So I know for, you know, I know for later reference kind of things, in case I need to block somebody else. So I sat back and I was like, I kind of got hyped about it. I was like, I know now what to do. They can see me, I can see them. What I've got to do is turn around, you know, turn around and not look at them. That's how you do it, guys, because they can still see me, they can still start trouble. Turn around and look the other way, just, you know, because I know now that I can see them. And I thought to myself, nothing's going to happen. But then I also kind of had a giggle with somebody. I said, look, Direwolfy's now gotten into the game with me. That answers my question, that I can still see her. And I can guarantee you now that she's spotted me for the first time, she's going to call lolzcupcake on. Well, minutes after me tabbing back to Finlandia, I'd actually still got my camera facing round that way. And none other than lolzcupcake turned up. So she obviously actually did turn around and be like, oh, I've seen Sharky in game, come in game with me and steer at her with me. And that's basically what they did. So, how it started was, she come in game. Now, I don't actually believe I've got a screenshot of it, but they stood at the fountain and they started dancing at the fountain in front of me. And obviously I completely ignored it. I turned my camera around so I couldn't see them. And then we're going to get to the next screenshot that I'm going to show you guys. Now, I've got a friend sat next to me, and one of my friends turned around to me and says, you know, do you still have those people blocked, that Direwolfy person and the lolzcupcake person? I was like, yeah, I do. Why? And there's like, turn your screen around a little bit to the rock that is on your right side. No, left. It was at the left side, I believe, of the screen at that time. From the way I was, it was at the side of me, wherever it was. You know, you guys know it. If you've been to Soul Camp, where I sit, there is a big rock with like a shrub on it, and so I turned it round, and Direwolfy had moved from the fountain onto the rock, trying to hide behind the bush to get closer to me. And that is in the screenshot that you guys are seeing on screen now. Now, lolzcupcake was nowhere to be seen. I had assumed that she'd gone offline. So I saw her up on the rock near the bush, and I took a screenshot of it, like, okay, I don't know if she's getting closer deliberately, so I'm just going to take a screenshot in case, you know, evidence purposes. And then I turned my camera back round. And then my friend said again, turn your camera back around. So I did, and she was still up on the rock, but this time below her, a little bit closer to the side of me. In the previous screenshot, guys, you would be able to see how close it was from where I was laying. Was lolzcupcake again, who had come in game on a new character and literally just stood there. Now, they started messing around there for a little bit, and then lolzcupcake, actually, I didn't get any screenshots or videos or anything of this, unfortunately, guys. I wish I did. But lolzcupcake then slightly kind of like started walking around in front of me as if to say, hello, you know, I'm here, pay attention to me, I want your attention, I want to annoy you. But yeah, obviously I didn't take any screenshots of that, and I just turned my camera back around. But that was them getting closer to me, and I was kind of confused. I was like, are they doing it deliberately, or are they physically just actually chilling out in the map near us? Like, what are they doing? I don't get it. So I turned my camera around, and I was like, oh, Lethry's den's behind us. And I think Lethry also got a bit of new fan art as well. So he actually went to go into his den, and I thought, you know what? Because I think they went back to dance on the fountain, which again I didn't take any screenshots of, in front of me. Probably thinking that I was steering my camera dead in front looking at them when I actually wasn't. So they weren't getting any attention. But I think they might have gone back to dance on the fountain. I'm not 100% sure, because like I said, I wasn't looking at them. But they was still there at Soul Camp. I think they was at the fountain. And So I decided to try something. I was like, okay, if they're not deliberately trying to annoy me, they will stay there. But if they are, they might chance following me. So I decided to go behind us to the den that's behind the NPC called Fish. And it was Lethrie's den. And I went in there with Lethrie because, like I said, he was putting some more trying to get some more fan art up. He was trying to get the picture to work in his den, where he puts all his fan art. And I just started sitting around in there. You know, I was talking to him, I was talking to Solstice, and I can't remember fully what we were talking about. I think it was like food, because we got onto the subject of like pancakes and whatever. And we was just running around and stuff. Now, I did get a video clip of this. I'm not 100% if I've still got the video clip or if I deleted it. I might have deleted it. But if I've got it, then I'll put it on screen. If I don't have it, then you won't see it on screen when I'm doing the editing to this. Where I was talking to them in the den, and then I noticed something moving around outside of the den. So I started videoing, and I used my F3 cam mode to take a better look at what it was, because I couldn't fully see who or what it was. Turns out it was lolzcupcake and direwolfy. They had stood right outside Lethrie's den. I do have a screenshot obviously that I'm providing on screen of lolzcupcake just stood there, and direwolfy was on Lethrie's den's is that a post box? I think post box, doing a handstand or headstand, whatever you call it. And they just started doing that for a little bit, probably trying to make out that they're not suspicious. Do excuse the fact if you can hear my chair squeaking, by the way. I've got pins and needles because I'm kind of sat on my legs while I'm doing this recording. I don't know if they were doing that trying to act less suspicious or what, but it was clear to me that they were slowly trying to follow me. And they were probably looking in the den, thinking about what their next move on me is going to be. So I started recording it thinking, yes, I'm going to catch them if they come into the den. And believe me, they spent several minutes out there just messing around. So I thought, okay, by now they're not going to come into the den. I'm going to stop the recording. Right as I stopped the recording, guys, they came right into Lethrie's den. And I'm going to show another screenshot to you guys on screen now. This screenshot that you see on screen right now is of me and 3 other friends in Lethrie's den. Now, as you can see, is me saying, yummy, I actually like pancakes in real life, laughing face. Because that's when we were talking about pancakes, because Lethrie had some giant pancakes in his den. And then I also started talking about the fact that I also like hot dogs. Anybody who knows me, I have a huge obsession with hot dogs. Oh my god, they are so damn yummy. I swear to god I'm probably going to make some after this recording. I just love hot dogs, okay? Now, have you guys noticed something by looking at this screenshot? As you can see in the screenshot, there's direwolfy and lolzcupcake deliberately doing like headstands on the lanterns in Lethrie's den, steering in my general direction deliberately. As if to say, hey, look at me, I want your attention, I want to annoy you, here I am. Of course, all I did was take this screenshot, so it didn't actually annoy me. It kind of gave me a bit of a laugh, actually, because I'm going to be honest, looking at this screenshot, I actually kind of like how they managed to, like, do a handstand up on there, because it kind of actually does really look funny how they've done it. And it does kind of make a funny screenshot. I mean, it's quite entertaining, to be fair, how the tails are, like, wrapped around, like going over and whatever. It just looks kind of funny to me, okay guys? So after that I was like, okay, now as you guys can probably tell by watching this video, that is blatant evidence to me that I have moved out of the way deliberately to be an adult and not interact with them, and they have purposely gone out of their way to follow me into a den and continue trying to get a reaction. And they can't deny it if you went to question them, because I'm literally showing you guys the screenshots of it right now to prove it, providing obviously the video, providing the fact that they don't get this video removed by mass reporting it and crying about it and covering up the evidence on themselves. But again, I can show it in a document that I will also provide that you can get from me off Discord as well, if they delete it or whatever. But after that, I felt to myself that they were doing it purposely. And as an adult, I don't want drama. Oh, random hiccups in this video, by the way, guys. I don't want the trouble. I don't want the drama. I don't know why they're doing it to me. I was actually very, very confused. I was like, I'm not doing out to them. I've got them blocked. I can't say out to them. I haven't said out to them. So why have they come out of their way to come into the server with me and start following me? I don't understand it. Genuinely, to this day still, guys, I'm very confused and I don't understand it. And I'd love to understand from their point of view why they kind of did it. So I was a little bit confused, but at the same time I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable because obviously they're doing it deliberately. So I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to report this now. So I took it up with a Philandia mod. I was like, look, can I message somebody on the Discord, because I don't want to put it here in the actual reports for everybody to see, because it is drama that started way before Philandia. It's been going on 5 years now, way before Philandia. It started on other sites. And there's a couple of evidence links that I want to provide to you that I don't want obviously to provide here for everybody to see it, because the truth is I don't want further harassment being done on them. I don't want people to read my report and be like, oh, Wolfie and Lols are really bad people, let's go get them. You know, I don't want that. I don't need that. And there's bound to be someone who's going to do it, you know. So I was thinking for their safety as well, take it up in a personal message with a member of staff and see if anything can be sorted about it. So I messaged a staff member, but unfortunately this staff member never responded to me. And you know, this staff member just never replied to me. They never said anything. And then I tabbed back into the game and saw that lolzcupcake had gone, but Direwolfy was then sat at the fountain on a character called Woofy. Obviously, like I said earlier, as you know, named after the character Woofy. And I'm not going to say again that she can't use a name. She can use a name within her rights. And I'm going to say it as I've said, if she's watching this video, enjoy using the name. You know, you can use it. It's free. I'm not annoyed about the name. But what I'm getting at again, guys, is the fact that she came in game using the name. Obviously, a reference to my character deliberately. And she wasn't sat there using it out of the fact that she likes the name. She was just trying to actually get a reaction. And you know, there's no need for it, guys. There's really no need for it. Obviously, like I said, I'm not annoyed about the Woofy and the Cakey characters that they have, because they're not actually direct copies of my characters at all. They are just actual names. And again, I'm not going to fight over names, because as I've stated many times, they can use the names. So, but you know, out of spite, the fact out of spite, there's a difference when you're using it out of spite. So I took a screenshot of that, and I did also report that. And then I'm not sure what Direwolfy did after that. I'm not sure if she stayed in game or if she left or what, because I just stayed in Lethrie's den and continued speaking to Lethrie and just completely forgot about her after I reported her. Unfortunately, of no ill will obviously to the staff members themselves. I'm not going to say bad about the staff member. I'm not even going to say who I reported it to. I don't believe the staff member did anything. I don't even think they took my report on board, to be fair, because nothing was said, nothing was done, and it kind of just continued where they kept coming in game more and more often with me. Like, they would try and get in my server deliberately as much as possible, just to sit around and be like, hey, look, I'm in your server, you know, acknowledge me, I'm here to ruin your day, you know, that kind of thing. And there are a couple of other screenshots, like 11th of May, I do have a screenshot here where, you know, they're in game with me. Direwolfy was in game with me. I've got another screenshot of, obviously, lolzcupcake being in game with me as well, but I'm not 100% when that was, because that one doesn't actually have a timestamp on it. But yeah, that one happened as well. So I just left it. You know, the staff member didn't respond to me. I was like, maybe they'll sort it and not respond to me. You know, they don't always respond to you when they sort an issue out. So I thought maybe they'll sort it out. Maybe they'll tell them to leave me alone and we'll just be done with it. Or maybe they might see what they're doing is wrong, or they might even get bored of the fact that I'm not actually acknowledging them, and they might just leave me alone anyway on their own accord. So I left it at that. And then what I did was I posted a chess party. Now I'm gonna, show a picture of 2 chest party things that I announced. I announced a 1,000 chest party, and I also announced a 50 sub special video drop. Obviously, when I actually did the chest party, I think that was actually the video of the chest party that I have the screenshot next to it of me announcing about it. Shortly, not long after me announcing that 1,000 chest party, about a day or so after I announced it, lolzcupcake then announced one. Now, I'm not going to say again that you can't do chest parties. You can. By all means, they can continue to do them. We both can. However, you guys can probably see it from my point of view of the strange similarities of how close together the parties were and how close together the posts were of me announcing a chest party to her announcing the chest party. So mere hours to a day or two after me announcing my chest party of 1,000 chests or so, lolzcupcake then announced that she's doing a chest party with obviously 2 of her friends, obviously, which was one random friend who I don't know, and Direwolfy. Now, she announced her chest party to be like 3,000 or something. Now, that is an obvious reference hint to the fact that she's trying to do one better than me, because I don't understand why, but for some weird reason, lolzcupcake always believes she's got to be better than me. Like, if I do a chest party, she's got to do one with more chests. If I start posting like my Tonkino, she starts mass posting her Tonkino. If I start posting my character called Serene, she's got a character called Siren who's a copy off of my Serene. She will usually start then mass posting her Siren character to try and do one better, and I don't understand why. I really hope that she sees this video of me stating that she's not better than me, and on top of that, I'm not better than her. You know, this isn't a contest. We're not better than each other. We're bad in our own ways. There's things that we're not so good at, and we're good in our own ways. That are things that we excel in, that we're excellent in. You know, there's probably things that she's better than me, and there's probably things that I'm better than at her. But there's also things that, you know, we're both bad at. We're both human beings. We're not better than each other. We don't need to challenge each other. And I'm also one of those people where I enjoy the little things that I have in life. I don't look at lolzcupcake and think, oh, she's got this, I've got to have that, or I've got to have something even better than her. You know, I don't look at that stuff. I enjoy the stuff that I have in life. You know, I've got my partners that are supportive of me. I've got my family. I've got my games consoles. I've got my cats, which I absolutely love. You know, we've got the doggy as well. I've got my little things like my coin collection that I like to collect. I've got my silly little things. I've got my music. Yeah, I just enjoy that kind of stuff. I don't look at somebody and think, I need what they have. I'm going to go out my way to try and do one better than them. You know, it's not worth it, because I don't feel like I'm better than anybody else. It's the same with the rich people. You know, you look at a rich people and you think, you get a lot of people that are like, oh, I'd love to be rich. Oh, I'd love to be famous. And I'm sat in, I'm like, I don't care if I'm any of those things. I'm not jealous that someone's richer than me. I'm not jealous that someone's famous. I'm not jealous that someone's got a bigger than house than me, and I've got to try and go one better than them and be rich and famous and have a bigger house. You know, I'm just happy with what I've got. I'm just happy with it at the minute, although we are struggling financially, you know, because that's how the world is. They keep charging us, they keep putting our board up because the government is greedy, whatever. As long as I've still got enough money where I can look after myself, I can look after my cats, I can get the little things that I like in life. Like at the moment, I really like spending money obviously on rare coins, spending money on mini brands that I collect, spending money on Zelda stuff that I obsess over, and spending lots of money on my cats to spoil them. You know, as long as I can do that, or buy video games that I like for my Xbox and stuff, or buy a set of ears and a set of tails that I can go down to Comic-Con on. You know, I'm happy with that. I don't feel like I need anything better. So I really hope that lolzcupcake watches this video and she understands this from my point of view, that I'm not trying to be better than her. I don't care if she thinks she's better than me, because the way I still see it, she's just a normal human being just like me. She has her quirks where she's good at things. She has her things that she's bad at. Same with me. I'm not better than her. She's not better than me. You know, we're just humans, guys. You know, I'm sure you guys can see where I'm coming from with it. But she still seems to feel like she's got to try and do one better than me. And I'd love to hear from her as why she feels she's got to see it as a strange contest. Because I don't wake up every morning and think, oh yeah, got to make a character better than Lol's Cupcake. Oh yeah, I've got to make a den look better than Lol's Cupcake. Oh yeah, I've got to drop more chests than Lol's Cupcake. You know, it's like, I really don't care. And then to add the icing on the cake to this, guys, is when she actually did that live stream. You can actually I think you can actually find that live stream on her on a YouTube, I think, where she did actually record it. But the icing on the cake to it, guys, of the fact that she was clearly trying to rub it in my face that she was dropping more chests than me, was she deliberately went out of her way to host the party in none other than the server that I was in. Yes, guys, she actually went and did that. She felt the need. She had to be in the same server as me and host her little party where I was there to acknowledge that it was happening. I'm not even kidding you guys. But again, I do want to thank her because when she did this chess party, I stayed out of the way because I didn't want to be part of it. And she did actually help. I do believe she helped me get a sky chest that day because everybody was so occupied with getting chests at her party and digging them up that they left all the chests around the actual map. So I was just running around, you know, getting all of them. And one of them that I actually got was a sky chest. So I hope that she sees this video so I can say thank you very much. You did help me in getting a sky chest that day. So I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that everybody also had fun at her chest party as well. And the last bit of evidence for this of how close together it was I set a date, an announcement for my chess party to be on a Saturday, and a couple of days straight away after that she put hers where she announced she was doing more chess than me. She did it in the same server as me, and she also did it a day before mine. Now that was very close together, and that made me a little bit suspicious that she'd done it deliberately, obviously, like I said, to try and outdo my party. But anyway, I did continue my chess party. My chess party was 1,580 chests that day. 2 people got sky chests from it. We did mini games with it as well. People really enjoyed it. You can find the video of it on YouTube, and I do thank everybody who attended. And I will continue to do chess parties from there, but as I've said, you can see the similarities of where she did it, where she tried to put it so close as possible to my party. She tried to make out that she could do more chess than me, and she was trying to see it as some weird contest. But I didn't see mine as a contest. I didn't go out my way to try and outdo her of getting more chests, and I just really enjoyed the party that I did host. And I'm really, really glad that everybody actually enjoyed the mini games, because the mini games added a little fun twist to it to get people engaged more. And a lot of people who was there when I kept dropping chests was like, when's the next mini game? When can we vote for the next mini game? You know, they weren't interested in the random chest drop. They were just like, I want to play the mini games. You know, that's what they were like. So I'm really glad that the mini games got a lot of a good review, to be fair. I do also want to note as well that I believe that they did video it. They recorded the chess party, and I did have to sadly watch a bit of it. I didn't want to watch any of it because, like I said, I don't go watching their stuff, but somebody else who watched it informed me to watch it. And the reason that they informed me to watch it is because there was a threat uttered in that video at me, or what I believe to be uttered at me. Now, I might not play the audio in it. I do have the audio. I'm going to say this right now in case lolzcupcake watch this and they quickly scramble to hide the live stream to say that they didn't actually utter that threat. I did record it, so I do have the recording of it, guys, and I may even play it for you guys. You know, you might hear it in a minute. If you don't hear it, then feel free to message me about it. Again, I don't know what I'm editing into this yet while I'm actually doing the recording, because I don't want to add too much, because they might start reporting it and start squealing about copyright, or being like, you can't have my voice in your video, I didn't give you permission. And again, with the screenshots that I have shown you of their characters, they still might report it and get this video removed anyway, but we'll just see where it goes anyway. So there was a part where, going back to when they're saying that I'm a character thief, obviously I'm not a character thief. I've got no interest in their characters. I don't steal their characters and I don't copy their characters. They were in game doing the chess party, and a couple of times they changed characters, obviously, and I don't know which one of them it was, but I think it might have been Wolfy. I'm not pointing fingers, so I don't want them to watch this video and go off the hinges saying, you're accusing me of something I didn't say, because I'm going to be honest, all of their voices in the video sounded the same. I'm not even kidding. I could not distinguish who was talking. I'm not even joking, they sound the same. So I don't know who did it, but I think it was Wolfy, but no guarantee. So please don't jump me over this, because I don't know which one of them it was, because they do sound the same in the audio. But in the audio, they were talking about their characters. Obviously, I was in the map with them. I was minding my own business and not even paying attention to them or their characters. And they said something to one of their friends. They're like, oh, I'm going to change character. What character should we change to? What character should I use? And one of them piped up saying, you know, change to the character that you don't mind being stolen or being copied or whatever, because just in case she, aka not name dropping but clearly meaning me, you know, copies it or steals from you or whatever, you know. And then they started talking about the characters that they were going to change to, and then one of them, as I've stated, I don't know who it was, turned around and said, I'm going to change to this character, and I don't fully remember what it was they said. I'd have to listen to the audio, or you guys can listen to the audio, where they turn around and says, oh, if they copy that character, then I've got an excuse to go after them. Openly admitting, guys, that if I would copy a character, which by the way I'm not going to copy because I'm not a copier and I know that copying is wrong, they would go after me and start harassing me for it. Now, I am also going to note here that I have actually made characters in the past where obviously it's not a copy of their character, it's literally just a character where it's got a colour or a marking on it that they feel is a copy of their character, even when it's not, and they've identified it saying it's a copy of my character when it's actually not, and they have actually gone and started harassing me for it, even though it's actually not a copy of their character. So they have openly admitted in that audio on their live stream that they would go after me. And again, guys, if they see this video and they remove that video on their live stream, it was on a live stream, you'll have to find it somewhere. If they hide it to try and hide the evidence, do come to me about it, because I do have the audio. I have recorded it just in case they remove it and say that they didn't say it. So just to make them aware, like I've said, if they are listening to this themselves, they cannot hide it. They might as well leave it there and admit the fact that they've done it, because anybody can come to me and ask for the audio, and I will give them the audio of that you actually said it. Again, I don't know which one said it, but I'm assuming it was either Lols or Wolfy who said it. Their voices do kind of sound the same. After that, nothing happened for a while. Literally nothing happened for a while. They shut up for a while. I thought it was all done with. And then they started coming in game with me again. Now, the next screenshot I have is of them at an NPC. We went to Boots NPC, and this seemed to be a common thing. Anytime I went near an NPC, they would go to the NPC as well, collect what they needed from it, their reward, and then they'd move to the side, not right next to me, but they'd move to the side anyway, where, you know, if you turned your camera around, you'd still be able to see them. They was in my view, basically. And then instead of going on and playing the game, you know, chest hunting, doing whatever they're doing, they would then start dancing. And I do heavily believe that the reason they did this is because they were trying to do it to get my attention and, you know, again, be like, hey, look at me, I'm here. because that's what they did when they was at the fountain when they first got in game with me. They started dancing around, they started doing handstands, headstands, whatever, and that was a very common thing for them to do, guys. And I do have a screenshot to show you where I was over near Boots. I think from the looks of it in this screenshot of me looking at it right now while I'm showing it on screen, Boots did actually despawn, so he's not there anymore. But there's me and several other users speaking to each other, and then in the distance over at the side, there's lolzcupcake and xdirewolfy, who then began dancing. Now, I had my friend test this with me. It was very common for them to start dancing, and then when I left the NPC, they'd stop dancing and go about doing the day, whatever they was doing, which made it clear to me that they would just continue dancing for however long that I was stood there for deliberately. It was very rare that I would see them start dancing and then while I was still stood there speaking to people that they'd go and do whatever they were doing. They would usually just continue up until I left, and then they would obviously not have me there for them to try and get the attention from anymore. So I tested that with a friend where I said, look, stand here where they're dancing, where we all are, obviously, because the NPC is just despawned. I'm going to go away, and then I want you to tell me are they still dancing or not. And then they told me that not long after I had left from where the NPC was, both lolzcupcake and xdirewolfy stopped dancing and then went chest hunting or whatever. So it was clear to me that they were still doing it deliberately while I was there. In the next screenshot, Boots spawned yet again in the exact same spot. And I don't know where xdirewolfy was for this one, but you can see in the screenshot, I'm not sure if she did it deliberately, lolzcupcake came over to Boots and she landed or stood and ran over and stopped literally right on top of me pretty much. She was standing over my tail pretty much, as you can see in the screenshot. And instead of moving, being like, oh no, you know, I stood over Sharky, I need to, you know, move out of the way, I don't mean any problems or anything, she actually deliberately continued to just stand there. As you can see it in the screenshot, she just stood there. You know, she just stood on top of me, and in the end I actually had to move. I quickly took the screenshot and then I moved from underneath her because I didn't want to be stood underneath her, obviously, in case she were doing it, finding it funny to stand on top of me or whatever. After these screenshots, I did report them to staff again. Now, another member of staff came in game and I had no response from the previous staff for, I think this went on for like a month, guys, where I had no response and it was continuing. And I just said to the staff member, I says, look, I've reported it before, I've had no response, it's continuing, I'm an adult here, I don't want to be dealing with this. Can I message you and show you everything that's happening, and can you please speak to them and tell them to leave me alone and stay away from me, because I'm staying away from them. I don't want out to do with them. But they're going out of the way on purpose to follow me, you know, and there's no need for it, because they're playing victim when they're not a victim, because they're following me on their own accord. You know, I'm not provoking them to do this. And they says, yeah, okay, you know, message me, let me know. And I told them everything. I sent them the screenshots, and then shortly after I sent them the screenshots, a status post turned up on Wolfie's Discord. Now, somebody else actually took a screenshot of this, but from what I recall correctly, it was taken not long after I'd sent the report in, so it's obvious it was to do with the report. It's put a 2 hands that forms a love heart, and it says, I love when me existing hurts people's feelings /Jen. I don't know what the /Jen means. I'm not sure if that's referring to me, because obviously my Discord name is General Shaw, and I do have a character called Jen. I do actually get called by some people online and in real life Jen, and so I'm not actually sure if that was aimed at me or what /Jen means. So I'm just putting this screenshot out there anyway for everybody to see it anyway. And that was done shortly after I had reported her, so I am assuming that a staff member actually messaged her and spoke to her and you know, said that it needs to stop, basically. And then after that, from what I know of, I've not seen any of them in game with me. They've not come into the server, they've not come to annoy me, so hopefully they've left me alone now. However, the recent things that did happen that I was sent screenshots of again, I did ask the staff about this to see if it was allowed or not, because I'm not sure if it's allowed, because I've never seen this before. Somebody took a screenshot of lolzcupcake's recent video. It's called Free Finlandia Skins. I've not watched it, but I'm assuming by the title it's Free Finlandia Skins, obviously, that she's created. Now, it says in the description on May the 22nd, 2023, to say a thank you to all the people who support me. I made free skins for you all. Remember to give credit. If credit isn't given, obviously report it to staff in the Discord. It's got all the codes to the skins, 5 skins, and at the bottom in the red square it says blacklist users not allowed to use these codes, and it has my username, and it also has my friend's username. Now, I questioned the staff about this. I was like, hang on, this is a target to us. You know, are you allowed to do this? Can you actually put a blacklist or not? Because generally, not out of spite on her or anything, I actually didn't know if you was allowed to do a blacklist or not, because they are free to use things. So I wasn't sure if Finlandia would still allow somebody to use it even if you'd blacklisted them, because it is free. So I did ask a staff member. The staff member did say to me, yes, they're allowed to blacklist you. And so I was like, it's okay that they blacklisted me anyway. I just wanted to know, because I'm not going to use their skins anyway, because I make my own characters, as everybody knows. I have actually never used a free skin before on Finlandia, and truth is, I'm probably never going to, because I do like to make my own actual characters rather than use free to use skins. But I just wanted to know anyway. But that seems like a weird little thing that she's put, where because she's not getting any attention, she thinks, okay, what's the next way where I can bring her username up on my account? And the way that she can bring my username up on her account is to make free skins and blacklist me in the comments, in the description. So that's exactly what she's done. Again, I've not responded to it. She's well in her rights to blacklist me. Obviously, hopefully she understands that I'm not going to use her skins anyway. I don't use anybody's free skins or any skins at all, to be fair. I use my own character skins, and it will continue that way, where I won't use any free skins because I'm not interested to. So she doesn't really need to actually put the blacklist there to state that I can't use it, because she's not going to see me running around Finlandia on it anyway. But I wasn't aware if she could do it or not. But that is a screenshot for you guys on the actual little blacklist thing that she's put up. And that was in May. That was actually a couple of days ago, actually, that this was sent to me. So that still is ongoing. I think she's done it there just because she wants to put my name out somewhere again, you know. But again, I'm going to let it slide. After that one, I was sent screenshots of a short video that she did. Now, this short video that she did, going back to the name Keiki, is a character that she has called Keiki. From what I'm aware of, she made her Keiki character way after I made mine. Obviously, she's made it out of spite because I've got one called Keiki. She thinks if she runs around on Finlandia, it's going to annoy me, but it's actually not. She's wearing her rights username, and I'm not bothered about the character itself, because from the looks of it, the character itself is not even a copy of my character. I'd be more concerned if it actually was a copy of my character. So she's wearing her rights to run around on this. But again, guys, you can see where she's trying to do it out of spite, or she's trying to do it for a reaction. So I am going to put that bit of information there, and you can go and look on her channel, and you can go and find the actual video of her Keiki character as the evidence. And obviously I've shown you guys the evidence of her changing her name deliberately to Keiki after I joined the Discord server. She's never been called Keiki by anyone before. It's not a nickname, even though she's using that as an excuse. She actually just started calling herself Keiki after she saw that I've got a character called Keiki. Again, it's just a thing out of spite, just a little thing she's trying to get a reaction out of. And that was the last thing that I was very recently sent. That was about a day or so of me doing this video, actually, guys, that I was sent that. So do feel free to go and have a look. And somebody who's also in the mutual server, I do actually have a friend, and I've actually got a couple of friends who's actually in Minty Flight's Discord who can see her messages. I don't look at her messages, obviously, because it says one blocked message or whatever, and I don't like to click on it and look at it, because it's none of my business what she posts, because I'm not interested in her. But somebody else who does see them has stated that she's posted a ref sheet of her Keiki character as well. Obviously, I'm not going to show it. you might find it on her toy house if she posts it or whatever. You know, feel free to go and have a look at it. But I have provided the screenshots of my cakey character who was made before her cakey. So you can see that they're not copies either, in case she tries to say that the copies. It would just be another thing over the name that she's going on, just to put it out there in case she tries to jump me for that one, guys. And her cakey character was made, I'm not sure when she made it actually, but I know it was made after my cakey character was made. And again, guys, her nickname is not Cakey. A lot of people on the internet just call her Lols or Cupcake. From what I have seen, she's never gone by the nickname Cakey. So yeah, that is it. That is all that I have got to provide for you guys here in 2023. I hope the video saves up, because like I said, they're probably going to mass report it. I hope they understand that I don't get angry from them. I hold no ill will against them, and I just want them to be mature, reflect on what they're doing, get on with life like I'm doing. And I actually hope one day that maybe they will be mature enough for me to actually unblock them and talk to them about this. So thank you very much for watching this, guys, and have a very good day.